welcome back to Studioloo. It's Cindy. So I have decided to begin a new journal today, and I'm going to make it with this book, London Bridge is Falling Down, the song and game illustrated by Ed Emberley. I found this book quite some time ago at my local thrift store, and I just really love the illustration on the cover. The colors, everything about it is just really great. So I think what I want to do actually is use the back cover. I'm going to trim it down to make the front and the back cover for the book. And then I don't know, like, what I will do. Like, I was thinking about, like, it's too wide to use as a journal as is. Like, I don't want to use, like, I love the image on the front cover, so I've got to think of something to do with that. I guess it would be a really cool writing board. That might be a potential what I do with it. So, yeah. Even on its own, it's just, like, it has a really nice image on back. So, okay, so what we're going to do then is, yeah, we're just going to take the book right out. This book has got a really cool binding. It's actually like a fabric binding. So I might see if I can just actually slip it out, or if not, I might just cut it here. It's just that it's a little more difficult because it's actually, actually, never mind. It's not difficult at all. All right, so this is going to be to make our cover. And then this, like I said, I'll probably use maybe to make a writing board. Oops. Just gotta cut this apart too. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this part aside for a bit. We'll come back to it. And now I'm going to try to remove these staples. See if I can get them. They're really heavy duty. Oy, I don't think that even a staple remover would touch them, to be honest. Let me see if I can just carefully, without cutting myself on a rusty industrial staple, pull this up. Ugh. So hard. Okay, there we go. Now one more to go. Okay, there's no crying and journaling. Let's get started. This is the part I usually do off camera because, you know, not that there's swearing involved, but it's like not the funnest. I like need something to pry that up a little. Holy moly cannoli. Let me see. Let me see if I can just get lucky and just try a few more times to grab it. Patience, right? Okay. Oh, we got it. We got it. Yes. All right. Now I'll flip it over here, and we should theoretically be able to grab a hold of it and pull it out. Yes, okay. All right. We're gonna get this out. Okay. Ugh. And this one, let's give it a little push on the table here. Where did that just go? Okay, that one missing. We'll find that later. I think it flew behind my sewing machine. Okay, so now we have these book pages. It looks like the signature, yeah, the signature has been really nicely sewn on this too. So I guess we'll clip these. That one's good. Okay. I'm going to have to do this side. That should theoretically peel it pretty easily because we cut the other side. And I would imagine that they are like woven together somehow. Okay. So I might have torn that one page a little bit, but I think it was actually already torn. So not a big deal though, because as with the journals that I always make, you have to cut the pages down a little bit more than what the actual book's cover width will be, so not a problem. I think theoretically there's a bit of glue. Okay, there we go. There's those strings coming through now. Okay, so this is actually really nice, intact still. Okay, there's one. Let's try to get the rest of these out if I can. Just trying to understand how these signatures work in this book. If they're like usually in like 3 to 4 pages or individual. Sometimes it's hard to tell. We've got a few pages that are already cracked. Because it is a children's book, so it doesn't super surprise me that it's had some love. I didn't even look at what year this book was written. Let's see. Might be on the back of this here. This is the second printing, 1967. Okay. There, we got all the strings out, I think. Did this go this way? Yeah, all right. So now I'm going to just, now that we've kind of cleaned that up, I'm just going to set these aside. I'm not going to make any decisions yet on what full signatures like I'm going to try to use or what folding I'm going to be doing. I have to build a spine for this, but first I have to actually trim off this sticky, dirty edge. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to score it on my cutter, which I've been doing a lot of lately, and I feel like I'm probably going to need a new blade soon because I'm abusing this poor cutter. So, but it's okay. That's what it's here for, is to be used. So we're just going to line this up with the sort of the end of that dirty kind of end, because the end had tape on it and that made it a little bit sticky and dust stuck to it over time. Okay, so there we go. We've scored it right there. You can probably see the score line. Now I have to line a ruler up and I have to cut that with a blade until we get all the way through. So what I'm going to do is just move my pages over here and my glue book. Got a little bit of a mess. I did some work off camera today. I did do a little bit of ephemera, just kind of like out of my scraps. I was trying to use things up today again. So let me just pull. So I'm excited because I just got this new shelf that sits actually back here off camera where you can't see, but I have a desk that I use to film on here, and so it doesn't sit right against the wall because there's like a panel back there that I don't want to like press the desk right against, but we don't use the panel for anything. It's not something that we need to access very much. So the problem I have is that things would often fall back there, or I couldn't use the very back of the desk for fear that they would fall. So now I can, because I actually have this nice little low profile shelf that I can keep a few basic things on. So yeah, that's a good thing. I saw something the other day that someone did. I'm trying to remember what it was. If it was an anti-slip mat or something sticky to just hold their book down while they were doing something like what I'm about to do. And I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I'm just going to try nothing and just see if I don't... Oh, I got to bring this blade down a little bit. There we go. This blade is so strange. I don't know if it's the way that I always seem to hold it, that it kind of slides from time to time. I'm almost positive it's user error though, like, because I just figure it probably is. Okay. And I'm just going to do this at a bit of an angle here. If you're going to be cutting in this way, I recommend a metal-edged ruler with the cork on the back, because the cork gives you the grip that you need and some padding for your hands. And the metal, it doesn't get cut by your blade. I find plastic, I easily cut the plastic every time I shave my ruler down, so those don't last that well for me. Okay, that's great. So it is cut all the way through almost. It's just the back side's a little bit tough always. You always have to kind of run down it with the blade, like a serrated kind of rundown. There we go. So that gets rid of that edge. And yeah, we're good. Then, yeah, the only other thing is this edge is going to be more worn than this one. And I don't know if I'll put metal edges on this or not. I don't think so. So I might need to use my corner rounder or just rough up these two edges a little bit. But right now what I want to do is I want to measure and see how wide this is, because actually I'm going to have to make another cut. So it's just 1/16, like shy of 9 inches. Yeah. So we're going to call this, so at 4.5, and then like in the middle of the 1 is like right where we would want to score that. Basically right here. So let's just line it up straight. Okay. There we go. Now again, we have to score and cut. And I have to decide how I want to do my spine. I think I want to make this maybe like a 3 signature journal, or maybe 1.5 inch spine. Try to get as much scoring as possible there. Okay. Now again with this ruler, yeah, looks good. We're getting there. Okay. Let's take a look if we can bend it, and we can. Perfect. and we'll see how even it is. Okay, so we have a little bit of extra. And I thought that might happen just because it was like right on the edgy edge of this. So what I'm going to do is just draw a line for where there's extra. And this actually solves a problem that I was having of one end is rounded and the other is straight. So now they're going to be the same. And I don't know if I could maybe cut this without the ruler, just against the edge of the bookboard. Okay. Perfect. That's already coming off. There we go. All right, now we have a nice, even, normal, clean edge. And now I just have to cut them apart. Okay. Perfect. So now we'll get rid of this knife so that nobody gets their fingers chopped off, namely me. Okay. Now this is going to be a bit of a smaller journal, which is what I had intended with this book. I have been making enormous journals lately, and I just want to take a little break from that a little bit. Just cutting the excess paper off from this side that pulled onto the other. There we go. Okay, so let me see how big this is going to be. Yeah, so that paper's too big. So this is going to need smaller papers, and I'm thinking a spine like maybe an inch and a half would be good for this. Let me get something to make a spine. So I think what I'll do is I will use the manila folder. Yeah, I feel like maybe even just the width of the ruler would be a great spine size for a book this size. And that would make my life pretty easy. Because then I don't gotta measure anything, and I like that. So let's do that. Where's my blade? Right here. Actually, why don't I just... So I'm going to make the spine 4 widths of this ruler. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to cut those out on my cutter. Sorry, I'm off camera. You couldn't see that. I just basically traced a line 4 times against my ruler. And then I'm going to use that line as a guide. Sometimes I work a little bit too close to the back of my desk here where I'm sitting, and I lose focus on the camera frame. Sorry about that. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. Now I have to measure the the length. Let me just lay this together here. That's good. Okay, we missed one little spot. There we go. Okay. All right, get rid of these scraps. And then I'm going to get rid of this cutter. And I'm going to move the glass mat so that you don't have the glare. I wish there was a way to take the glare off of this glass mat, but there isn't. And really, I could angle my lights a little differently, and that would probably solve the issue, but it's all just adjustments and adjustments. So, oops, let me just move a few things here. Just move this out of the way. There we go. Okay. Good, good. Now, back to this. So, next thing I'm going to do is just, I'm going to get my glue book here. I just started a new glue book today, which is great because that means that I just used one up. So I'm excited about having used up a full glue book. Now, I'm going to just glue all of these together with glue stick. And this is permanent glue stick, so it's not like going to come apart. This is just going to give me my kind of guide for what I'm doing with the spine. And then I'll know sort of how I want to build the spine, if I want to use fabric. I thought about using like a piece of the other cover of the book to just get the same spine, like with this nice book cover, but I don't think I'm going to do that because I want to use that cover for something else. Okay. So now I'm just going to let this kind of dry. And I got to think about what I want to do with the spine. Because I'm going to need to cut a piece of chipboard actually to go on the back of it. So maybe I will do that. Let me see if I have a piece of chipboard close by. Sorry, that took me a minute. I think that one's big enough. It is. Okay. So now I just got to cut a piece of chipboard that is the same as my guide here. Oops. And that's going to give me the more solid spine that I want. Okay. Then I'll get my art glitter glue. Oops. we have, oh, the pin. I'm using a white pin on there, which I don't normally use, and I couldn't even see it. I thought it was a glue glob. So we're just going to go around the edges and then just get a little messy here and make sure we have enough glue. I actually need to clean this glue bottle. It got gloopy the other day because I was using it too much. Just going to move that book page out of here. I think I had intended that to be one of the pages in the signature, but this book will require slightly more little signatures, which is so great because I actually have a lot of little like pages that I want to use in a journal. Okay, so now this is going to go and sit for a little bit under a brick. Let me grab my brick. And actually I can just sit here on my glass. And I'm just going to put my brick right on top of it because I need it to stay flat. So that's what we will do with that for now. Then I'm just going to move these over here. I will have to find end papers, but for now I think I'm going to, well, maybe I'll find an end paper from inside the book itself. That might be nice actually. Because what I was thinking, like, this is cute and all, but it's not really like enough going on there. So the end papers will need to be replaced. So then we can start making ephemera and deciding what pages and how we want this to go. So let's just see, like, what's the width? So we could use actually one of these pages for this book by folding them in half. We don't even have to worry about keeping the signature together. So hopefully there's some good images in here. This is from a Roman Catholic portable resource center. So that's a nice, that would be nice in the center of a signature, I think. But you know what? It has a little tear in it. So I could like patch over it, but also that would be a really nice journal card. So I think I'm going to go with journal card. I'm also going to tear this off. I'm not sure what I want to do with that yet. That might be a cute journal card. And I like these little flowers too that could be maybe clusters or something like that. So I think we've decided with this will be a journal card. Now the nature of this one, it's kind of cool because it's got like an image on either side of the page in kind of a balanced way. Now one thing I just want to check is, can I cut off this and still have a decent size signature? Yeah, I can. Beautiful. So this is going to get folded to here, and that is going to get used in a signature, and it will get backed with something different. So that's one. She's fun. I think she will become ephemera. This is another good one for in the book because it is two things, like two sides, right? So, and also we can, oh, okay, so we're going to get to keep the game here. Let's just read this and make sure nothing offensive is in this book, because you never know. 2 players are chosen as keepers and decide secretly who will be the gold keeper and who will be the silver keeper. Then they make a bridge by joining their hands and raising them up. Okay, so it's just literally like the hand-holding game of My Fair London Bridge, and you sing the song. The captured player. Oh, okay, I remember playing this in school. Like someone would be in the middle and you would capture them between your arms, and the game goes on until all the players have been captured and have chosen sides. Then it ends with a tug of war. Okay. Yeah, so that's nice. We'll keep that as a signature. Now this one is the song. We'll keep that as a signature too, and I think the center of the signature. I'm going to have to do a little repair here though, because there is a tear in the page, but that's okay. I want to maintain the song. I think that would be nice. Oh, I have to refold that actually, because, oh no, I did account for it, I think. Oh, I didn't. Okay. Oh, so that's actually great. Now the tear is over the fold. I'm not going to have to worry about it being on the fold. And then this is the main page, the front page of the book. Let's try to tear that. That would need to be, that could be the, yeah, that's going to be the end papers, I think. Yep, one there, one there. Yep, that'll be end papers. So I'll just set that with this. That's nice. And that would be great also for journaling space. I'll maybe, you know, just honestly leave it as is. I don't even really need to be too stressed about, like, well, I guess I could cover that because you're on each flip, you're only going to see sort of half. So I can cover that maybe with some nice, like, either collaging or paint. This is going to be a fun journal to make, I think. I'm going to like this. And then these pages, honestly, the same thing. Because there's so much white space, they're actually really great for signatures. That's really nice. I think I'll use that for creating like pockets and some ephemera. This one, same. And then this one, I think I'll keep as a signature page. Yeah. Oh, I'm already excited about this. I love it already. This is like, I love the colors of this book. It's just, it makes me really happy. I don't know, the light blues and a short history. Okay, so this is nice. This is the history of the London Bridge. I think I'll make a journal, like journal cards out of those. Although, would it be a good maybe center of the signature? Because it has the whole song on the back too. So let's just see. I said I wanted to put 3 signatures in here. So yeah, I'll be able to do that. Sometimes the challenge can be if something, but if something has to be the center of the signature because of how it looks like, hold on the inside, like you wouldn't want to split that in half, so it has to go in the center. So sometimes you kind of run out of centers. So let me just check that I'll be able to trim that. Yeah, I will. Good. Okay, then this is the back kind of whatever page. I am going to keep this though. I'm not going to keep this sort of white back page, but I might just cut around it, and I want to keep the envelope. So that'll be a great ephemera piece, a pocket. I always love to keep these old original library pockets. Any extra paper off. They usually use that glue that was like slathered on, and it's really sticky. It's actually like stays very sticky. So, ephemera. Now this, yeah, he would get bent in half, I think. Let me see. Yeah, he'd be right on the middle. So let's turn that into ephemera. That's nice, but it's also going to become ephemera because it's again centered. This as well. Yeah. Yeah, and I think I like this page. I like these. That's all be ephemera. So actually this book split up quite well. We have quite a few pages to make ephemera out of. We've got a nice end paper, and we've got enough signatures to use from the original book. So this will be really fun to make. So I'm just going to get a basket that I can keep the pieces in. this is how I try to stay organized, is I keep a basket for everything that needs to be in a certain book. I'll put all my signatures in here. So what I want to work on, I think, first, let me just think. I'm going to have to get my fabric selected that I want to use on the outside of this. So I'm going to do that. Now, one thing that I don't remember if I cleaned this book. Let me just grab a wipe here. Easier said than done. This is almost completely empty. I have to put more towels in here. So I always do kind of a little cleaning of my book before I really get started on it. I typically try to wipe down all my books that I get right after I bring them home, especially these days, but just in general, because you wouldn't believe the grime that comes off of old books. I have a feeling I might already have cleaned this one because there's nothing coming off. So anything left behind, like, yeah, there's like really next to nothing coming off this book. So I'm going to just stop doing that now. And I'm just going to give it a quick dry here. If I can find my paper towels. They've gone mysteriously missing. So let's just use I'll just use this. Just use a little dry off. There we go. Scrap. Okay, so what we can do, I guess, while I'm thinking about what I want to use as my paper here, I think I want to make the cut right down the is. Like London Bridge is falling down. Can I get just the London Bridge here? Where should that? Yeah, so that's got to go with the front, the first cover. Yeah. So I think I'm going to just I'm just going to make a score on this actually, as is. Like that. And then over here. Oops. Okay, well, let me cut it on my cutter. That's a lot safer. Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes paper just wants to ripple or something. It's weird. So let me just cut it again here. Right there. Okay. Okay. Just want to make sure that they're both the same width, because I know I cut my book to the exact same width. Yeah, that one's got a little wonky to it. Let's just clean that up. There we go. So just looking at this again to make sure that this is how I want the covers to be. Yep. Okay. So this will need to get trimmed a little bit maybe. Actually, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty perfect. Yeah, good. Now, when I put the signature in, we're going to cover a little tiny bit of this, like over here, we're going to lose a little bit, which is fine. We'll lose the word is, which I'm totally fine with. Yeah. So I think I can actually just glue these on now. I don't see any reason that I can't right now. Just glue them on. Okay. Let's put this blade away. I keep forgetting to like pull the blade back in. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm forgetting to do that. I used to be really good at being super careful. Hopefully I don't get a reminder of why I need to be so careful. So just give me 1 second. I'm just trying to clean this glue bottle a little because it's all gummy. There we go. That's the thing about frequently using glue. It's like, here's a problem I thought I would never have. Okay. All right. Oh, now that I'm looking at the back of this, I'm like, do I like that even more? Oh my gosh, I like that. But it's kind of the same. Oh, it's like, oh, I like that though. But then we lose the title and yeah, that's kind of sad. It's okay, because inside the book are images just like this. I need to stop being emotional. I just love like book illustration art so much. Ugh. That's why it's funny, like years before I started, you know, getting into making journals, which I've only actually, I picked this hobby up in 2020. And before that though, I think maybe some part of me instinctually knew I was going to get into something like this because I have like a library in my house, and I realize as I look through a lot of my books that I have a lot of books that I bought just really and truly for the book art, the illustrations. Like I buy a lot of vintage books and children's books, and like a lot of them, you know, I probably won't necessarily read. And I mean, at the time I did a lot of this purchasing, I didn't even have children. I didn't even know that I would be having children. I hadn't really made that decision in life yet. So I think somehow maybe I always knew that I would just eventually get into making these journals, and I'd need some cool stuff to do so. Oh, I have the perfect ink for this book too. Okay, so there's one and done. I don't normally do this at this stage of the journal. I usually put these in after, but I'm fine with doing it now. And I got some messiness on the side. I'm just going to clean up here. There we go. Then I'll just make sure that, yeah, well, that's the inside. I don't even really need to be too concerned. You won't see it anyhow. I'll just go around the edge of this one again. Okay. Okay. I will just take a look here and make sure I don't have too much excess paper. Just going to trim a teeny bit off the top here. There we go. Cute end papers for sure. Right. I'm just going to pause you for 1 second while I try to find out what fabric I want to use for this, because that can sometimes take me a minute. Okay, so I found the fabric that I'm going to use on the signature, and I'm choosing this gray because it will pick up the gray here and the pink in the roof. And this is a fabric that I just batik dyed like some time ago. So let me just prepare my signatures here. Not my signatures, but my holes for my spine. So this is my spine, and then this is what I'm going to be sewing my signatures onto. There we go. Okay. Whoops. Let me just move this chomper out of the way because it's very big. Okay, so now I'm just going to move this out of the way for a minute. We'll deal with that later. Next thing I want to do is just get this put together with the spine. I'll put this on the outside. So we're just going to line it up here. There we go. Okay. Now I got to grab my tape. Okay. Make sure we are centered. Okay, this is all going to be hidden, no worries. So now I need my plastic ruler. We'll just make our crease here. I do this on both sides. There we go. All right, now we have a book. Okay. So now I think I need my sandpaper. Where did I put my sandpaper? I know I moved it today in my reshuffling that I did here. It might be over here. It may not. Okay, well, you know what? I think we are approaching an hour anyhow, so I probably should call it a video for today. So next thing I'm going to do, not sure if it'll be on camera or not, it might be though, I might come right back to this tomorrow, is we're going to cover, I have to sand this, and then we're going to cover it up, and then tomorrow I will pick out the signatures for this book, and we will get going with that. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Thank you so much for joining me, and all of my information is in the description box below. Yeah, thanks guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a good night.